I'm Peter, grew up in Bern, also mathematically. I studied there. I did my PhD there, so up until my late 20s I only lived in one city, similar size as Bonn. Then I moved to the US, to Boston for 2 years for a postdoc. I came back to Europe through MPI. I was a postdoc here for a year. And then the last 7 years I've actually spent in Zurich. The last 5 years I've held assistant professorship there, and now starting next year in February I'm going to move to the University of Neuchâtel for a full professorship. So I'm a geometric topologist. I am a low-dimensional topologist. I care about manifolds of dimensions, say up to 3, 4, 5. I in particular enjoy the connections to knot theory, connections to complex algebraic geometry. I find the interplay of visual mathematics. You can really try to describe your objects visually with some algebraic topology. Super interesting and fascinating. And in a way, there's some reasons to say that 4 manifolds are the manifolds we understand the least. So I'm intrigued by that. So I find it hard to describe the exact math that goes on and how it's a eureka moment, but I distinctly remember a moment when I had a eureka moment, and I was in the US. I've been working quite hard in my postdoc. I was away from the people I knew. I really focused on math a lot, but then I took a vacation in South America, and at the time I was in Mendoza. And my partner wanted to be adventurous, but I was kind of beat and tired. So I just stayed in the hotel, and they had a pool, and I put a chair in a pool, and I sat in a pool, and my feet were in the water, and I was sitting there. And at that moment, I kind of went back to thinking about a problem I hadn't figured out. And then you have one of these obvious little ideas that are so simple that you kind of feel as if it needs to lead somewhere. And it did, and I could write the paper. So maybe just leaving things alone, came back to it with sun and in a pool, and it just clicked and worked out. The mind wanders, but in practical terms, it's probably biologist. Because I really like biology in school. I was really fascinated by theory of evolution and modern genetics. But then I kind of realized there's a lot of lab work in biology, and I wasn't so good at that, and I was more fascinated by concepts. So I ended up studying math and physics, and only really during the studies realized how much I loved that. I was good at math in school, but I didn't know that I really would go there. So maybe if there was less lab work in biology studies, I'd be a biologist today. Who knows? I often say I have no hobbies. It's not quite true. I sometimes play some badminton. I love swimming. I love sauna. But in general, my most important thing is just hang out with people in coffee shops and talk about lives. I think as mathematicians, we're not always so good with the work-life balance. Neither am I. I have no hobbies. But just building an environment where I in my neighborhood have friends outside of math and talk with them about the world in a very mathematical, logical way. Just feel when you speak, first talk about your emotions, not some logical things. I think that's kind of my balance to math, and that's how I try to function, with lots of coffee. In general, I think being persistent in research is the most important thing. And with that, I don't mean stay on one thing. Like, be open-minded and look around for opportunity. Try to collaborate as much as you can, in particular with people your age, people who are older. If you're watching this includes for sure me. Just are busy and have jobs. And if you're a postdoc, in particular for the MPI, maybe you have freedom. Be persistent on the project you're trying, but then stop, try another project, and try to collaborate with other people. And do focus on research the way things are structured right now. I think you're most judged on your research. If you want to change the community, do it when you have a permanent job, and do it from top. Because if you have more power, it's easier. Right now, just do a lot of research. I really liked it here. I really like the atmosphere. I'm speaking now from the perspective of an incoming postdoc, second postdoc. I arrive, it's clearly a world-class place. There's so much going on. I had a great time interacting with the other parts of mathematics in Bonn. There was a trimester in topology that really spoke to me at HIM, Hausdorff Institute of Mathematics. And also here, I met many people. I met many people that I hadn't met before, but I talked to them. I had exchanges with people that are more in homotopy theory. I learned even some derived algebraic geometry, even though I was mostly confused. It just gave me the freedom to go to tea and talk to whoever I want, or to sit in my office and just work. The only thing I'll say, which is this freedom also comes with a lot of responsibilities. If you're struggling with your own thing, or you have high expectations of yourself, it feels so free that you only have yourself to blame. So I think the freedom can also, maybe sometimes you're missing some structure if you're inclined to think that way. But I think freedom is important for mathematical excellency, and this is what MPI provides. And it's very impressive that it's able to do that.